Hi, my name is Alex. Today's podcast is Living History with Alex, and today I'm going to be interviewing Chief Richard Tedlow, a retired hospital corpsman and a chief medical officer for the Naval Sea Cadets at Miami Military Museum. So today we're going to ask him a few questions, and we're going to learn about what we can see about his history. So, where were you born, and what was your life like before joining the Navy?
I was born in Miami, Florida, spent my whole life in Miami. In the 50s and 60s, it was a really nice time to grow up because you could go outside and play baseball or play outside until the streetlights came on.
What made you decide to enlist, especially during such a historic time, like in Vietnam?
Well, in those days, they started having the draft, and if you got drafted, you didn't get to choose what branch of the service you were going to go into. And I wasn't very athletic, but I know I had a feeling to deal with people, and I figured out the best way to do that was work in the hospital. So my father was wounded during World War II. He spent time at the VA hospital, and there was a VA hospital in Coral Gables, which is now the Biltmore Hotel.
Do you actually work in the VA hospital?
No, I did some training in the VA hospital, in the Navy Reserves where I participated in. We did weekend drills over there. And the hospitals I worked in were at Mercy Hospital when I got off of active duty, and I took care of Eddie Rickenbacker. I also took care of a few Dolphin football players, and then I worked at Jackson Hospital, and then I worked 42 years at Baptist Hospital.
It's amazing that you got to work with Eddie Rickenbacker. For those who do not know about Eddie Rickenbacker, he was a 22-kill pilot ace for the U.S. during World War I. What was your training like to become a Navy corpsman? I've read that the type of training was very hard.
It wasn't that hard. It was, I was interested in the subject matter. I liked science when I was in school, so to me it came pretty easy, very interesting. I remember when I was a kid growing up, we had a World Book Encyclopedia, and if you looked at the human body, you'd go to that place, and we'd have cellophane with different parts of the organs, and you go from layer to layer to layer to layer. And when I was in the Navy, I got to see my first autopsy, and it was just the way the encyclopedia laid it out. So it was very, very interesting.
Wow. Did you learn things that still help you in your everyday life now?
What I learned in the Navy was how to take care of patients. I use that knowledge to teach and help the employees at the military museum. We just got a AED for people that would suffer a heart attack. They've taken courses on CPR. So yes, the training I had in the service has helped me throughout my life.
Where were you stationed while you served? Did you work in hospitals, clinics, or bases?
Yeah, they told me to join the Navy and see the world, and the only thing I saw was the United States. I worked in naval hospitals. Let's see here. I worked in Key West Naval Hospital, Orlando Naval Hospital, Jacksonville, Pensacola, Bayonne, New Jersey at the military ocean terminal, military terminal, and Charleston, South Carolina, and Bremerton, Washington, Gulfport, Mississippi. So it was all medical areas.
Wow, that's actually really amazing. You got to see that much of the U.S. while your time in service. You served during the Cold War. Were there types of tension with the Soviet Union? Did global events like that impact your daily work in any way?
I took care of patients that were affected over there in Vietnam. Some of them came to the Naval Hospital in Key West. I took care of them. I remember growing up, them taking the missiles down US-1 to Key West. They had them down in the Everglades, so I remember that. And I remember being a kid going to school, hiding under the desk when they had the drills.
Wow. What was it like during the time, though, for you? Like, was it a fun experience, or was it, like, scary or something else?
It was a fun experience because most of the kids really didn't know what was happening in the mid-50s. We know that We had the missile crisis in the 60s, but I was still in middle school, and that really didn't affect us much.
Oh. What's something you're most proud of for your time as a corpsman?
The training I got, how to work in medicine, and the after effect working with kids. That was my goal, was always to do something with children. So I was a pediatric nurse for 50 years. I've done 2 summer camps, camps with kids with lung disease, such as cystic fibrosis, and a cancer camp. So those are the things I'm really proud of.
So, what's your job or role was as a corpsman, and what was also your role as a pediatrician?
Well, the role as a corpsman was the same as a nurse. You take orders from the doctor, you get trained in medicine, how to do dressings, knowing your medicines. Later on, working with kids, their dosages are a little different than adult dosages, because with children, you have to do it by weight. And with adults, it's like a single dose. So you have to be more attuned to children's weights in order to give medicine.
Oh. Are you proud of your service as in the military?
Absolutely. The thing about it went really fast. 26 and a half years in the Navy, working in medicine, and 50 years as a nurse. Time really goes by fast when you do something you really enjoy.
I also know that you work in the military museum and that you also serve with Sea Cadets. Could you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, I got into the military museum by accident because our Sea Cadets were drilling there, and I was offered an opportunity to be a docent, and going there every day, I'm picking up something new. The director of the museum is always adding something new for me to learn. And working with the Sea Cadets, as I told you before, I've always wanted to work with kids, and I find this is an enjoyment and help kids learn about commitment, courage, dedication, and it's a good growing experience for youngsters.
And our last question for today, what type of advice would you give someone like me?
If for you or anybody else, find something you really enjoy doing, pursue it, because you're going to be doing it the rest of your life, and you should enjoy what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. That's it for today on Living History with Alex. Stay tuned next time for more videos.